Hey guys, Jack Spirko coming to you from Texas, man. It's gotten really bad here. They're making us wear masks everywhere. I just had to put my mask on because a state police officer pulled. That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. I figured I'd take a second to come to you from, I guess, would be the third official mobile studio. Remember, I started my podcast years ago in my personal mobile studio. Now we have a 2020 Challenger brought to us by a fire sale and COVID sales, and just let me get this off because I just wanted to talk to you a bit about this this line of reasoning I've heard from some people, including people I really support. How you doing, Vin? That in Texas they're going to round us up if we don't wear masks, or I don't know what other crazy shit you're talking about, because Abbott came out with his executive order. This is not Minnesota with Governor Meemaw. We don't do that shit here. Let me tell you what I've seen from everybody in Texas. Outside, nobody's wearing a mask. Restaurants and bars obviously can't wear a mask if you're drinking. They are open. And what's going on is most stores, people are wearing masks because the stores require you to wear a mask because they're a private business. And before the executive order, they were pretty much doing that already to protect themselves from being sued by people that would be like, hey, I got COVID in your store because you didn't do this, so it's a liability protection thing more than anything else. And my contention has been that Governor Abbott's executive order is virtue signaling that the governor has done so that he's doing something versus nothing and can keep the economy open. And I've been told I'm crazy. They're going to track us, round us up, I don't know, mask the shit out of us, whatever. By the way, I wear these all the time when I fish on the boat so that my face doesn't get sunburned. That's why I use them when I have to go into one of these stores and deal with their stupid shit. But what I really wanted to tell you about is, well, what's law enforcement thinking? What are they doing? So there's a place about 5 miles north of my house that I fish at often. And there's a little creek that runs through it, and that's really not the reason nobody else goes there. I'm probably the only one that actually does that. It's a park with like a track and walking trails and like jungle gyms for kids to play on, and it's got a really pretty garden area with benches people can sit on and shade, and a pretty nice parking lot, and a skate park for kids to do their roller skating on. So I was like, well, with all this crap going on, did they close that park? Because I plan on going and fish there maybe a couple days this week before I do the podcast in the mornings, before it's 100 billion degrees outside. So I figured what I'll do, I'll drop my wife off after we went grocery shopping, and I'll drive up to this park. So I get there, and kids are running around playing. None of the kids are out skating. I think it's a bit early for that. They come out in the evening when the heat's down and whatever. But there were lots of people there, and they're going on about their lives, and nobody was, wearing one of these freaking muzzles, these symbols of conformity. And there just so happened to be an Azle police officer getting into his vehicle. And I walked up and said, hey, man, can I talk to you? He said, like, sure. I said, and I realized, like, he's not doing nothing, so I don't want him to think I'm like a Karen or a Kyle, what have you. So I'm like, I was very clear about my view right from the beginning and said, hey, man, Abbott's got this stupid order out about masks. He goes, and he like rolls his eyes. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, so technically this is a public place. I notice all these people without masks. You don't seem to care. What is the official viewpoint of Azle PD? And he said, we don't care. We don't care. We're not bothering people outdoors. Like, we're just not doing that. We don't have time for that. We have a job to do, and going around telling people that they have to wear, a mask is not really in our job description. So I'm like, oh, okay. So what about businesses, like private businesses and stuff, when people are indoors? And he said, well, the way we view it is this. If a business wants to open and not require masks, it's not our business. We're not going to do anything. And if somebody calls about that business, we're going to suggest to them that maybe they don't patronize that business. And if someone does have the requirement and somebody shows up and it refuses to wear a mask to go into that business, we view that as a private business. It is set a policy, a dress code, if you were, and that if you don't like that policy, then don't go into that business, because as a private entity, they have every right to set whatever policy they want for customers that enter their store. So if you go there and you're not wearing a mask and they tell you you can't come in and you leave, and then they call us, we don't really care. In fact, when we get there, if you're not there, assuming you didn't punch somebody in the face or something, we don't care. If you're trying to force your way into a business and they're telling you no, because they've decided to enforce this mask order, then you are trespassing, because they have asked you to leave and you've refused to leave. We will not arrest anybody or cite anybody on a mask violation, because we don't have a mask violation to cite them with. There is no law. An executive order is not a law. There's literally nothing for us to write a citation for or to arrest you for, other than the person that owns the business or the person that manages the business has told you to leave and you've refused to leave. You know what I call that? Principle over preference. Because I'm the guy that said business should be able to do whatever the hell they want, including reprehensible behavior like, I don't want to serve you because you're white or black or Hispanic. And I think a business should be able to do that. Now, I'm not going to patronize them. They're not going to get my money, but I don't want the law to do anything about it. I just want to be like, hey, these people here do this thing, and therefore we should not patronize their business. So I'm not going to go and be like, well, but then I want the law to go in and tell them they can't require a mask or you to wear shirt or shoes or shirt or whatever. Principle over preference. But that's what's going on in Texas. What I'm seeing is any of these businesses, like this gas station I stopped off to pick up some beer and some really good beef jerky, that are saying, we want you to wear a mask when you come inside. People are walking up with no mask on. They're putting their mask on. They're going inside the store. They come out of the store and the first thing they do is take their mask off. I don't see, and the people that are driving around with masks on or walking around with masks on, they were already doing that. They're the sheeple that are afraid, that actually believe that this thing protects you. It doesn't. And those of you wearing the surgical masks, they don't protect you either. Read the box they come in. It says right on them, they don't provide any. Not they only provide limited, they do not provide any protection whatsoever from COVID-19 or other coronavirus. It says on the box. You keep believing if you want to. You wear your muzzle if you want to. Down here in Texas, it's not happening. It's never going to happen. We don't care and we're not going to care. Be well, y'all. Take care.